Imagine every morning getting a text message from a resident of Asu Canal, a mother, a grandmother, a hard-working Saint Lucian. She has not been receiving water in her tap for months. She would say to me, I cannot get water to bathe. I cannot get water to cook. I cannot take care of my family. Miss Marcella, I want water in my tap. That is the reality in our communities today, especially in the north of the island. This is happening right here every day. Many communities, Grand Riviere, Beausejour, Cap Estate, many communities around the north of the island are suffering from adequate water supply. And yet, 5 long years, this government has allowed this to continue. Water is not a luxury. Water is not a privilege. Water is a basic, very basic necessity. Families in the north have to endure daily rationing, emergency outages, and the uncertainty about when water will run in their taps. Businesses in the north, they operate under disruption, creating many challenges, financial challenges for businesses. Communities are left in distress. And for 5 years, this government has failed to act with the urgency, planning, and accountability that our people, that Saint Lucians deserve. The John Compton Dam, our primary water source, has been burdened with millions of cubic meters of silt that has reduced its capacity by over 50%. This is widely documented in official government and WASCO reports, which stated that the full desilting to restore storage capacity could take 8 to 10 years and would involve removing enormous amounts of sediments. Under the UWP administration, prior to 2021, work had begun on the desilting program. Progress was underway, and plans were in motion to remove this sediment that had accumulated for decades. But when this government, this current government, who took office 5 years ago in 2021, they stopped, yes, they stopped the desilting work, which would have helped to alleviate some of the problems. They halted a project that had already begun. 5 years, nothing was done. Not a spoon, not even one spoonful of silt was removed. Not even one spoonful of silt was removed from the dam. Not a spoon. Imagine, not even a spoonful in 5 years was removed. Despite official government reports showing that approximately 1.5 million cubic meters of sediment had to be removed to restore the dam to its full capacity, nothing was done for 5 years. Had this current government continued the work over 5 years ago, we would not be in this crisis today. We would have had more storage capacity, and perhaps 50% of the silt would have been removed. Instead of the continuing the work, we had 5 years of neglect. Neglect by this government. 5 years of inaction. And for the last 3 years, residents in the north have been faced with exacerbated water problems, with increased trucking in various communities around the north. The project that could have prevented this widespread water shortage was left to languish. Families continue to suffer. Communities continue to go without water. And now, after years of this delay, the government has only now secured funding to replace the raw water pipeline, a project that, if addressed earlier, would have helped to bring greater storage capacity to the system many years ago. Ask yourself, why did it take 5 years to get to this point? Why were families left without water while this critical work stopped? Why, when people needed leadership, did this government delay? And here is the stark reality. Reports are that we are now having to import water. In a country like ours with a rainy season, we are now having to import water from Dominica just to keep businesses supplied, residents supplied. Imagine that, importing water from another country when this government failed to manage our resources effectively. Import water from Dominica because this government failed to act. Just remember that. Think about it. Families struggle every day. Children cannot bathe properly. Mothers cannot cook meals properly. Businesses cannot operate reliably. Communities are forced to survive on rationed water. Leadership is not about announcements or press releases. Leadership is about results. Leadership is about taking responsibility when people's basic needs are at stake. Water sustains life. Water sustains families. Water sustains communities. Water sustains our economy. When water fails, confidence in leadership fails. When water fails, trust is broken. When water fails, families suffer. And the question for every Saint Lucian is simple. How much longer will families continue to endure this neglect? How much longer would communities wait for a reliable source of water? How much longer will people's basic needs be ignored? We cannot accept delays. We cannot accept excuses. We cannot accept rhetoric without action. St. Lucians deserve an adequate water storage capacity. St. Lucians deserve accountability. St. Lucians deserve urgent action, not empty promises. Urgent action, not empty promises. Water is life. Water is dignity. Water is trust in leadership. And the people of this island deserve it. So we are calling on this government to treat the water situation, especially in the north of this island, with urgency so that families can get access to a reliable source of water. Thank you.
Mrs. Johnson, you mentioned about the water situation requiring urgent action. What are some of your recommendations presently to alleviate some of the problems we currently face?
Okay, the water situation has not been a problem that has existed overnight. This has been going on for many years. And this project that I would have referred to, this started under the Labour Party government, and the United Workers' Party continued the project which began with the desilting of the dam, constructing the sediment disposal area. And this project should have taken about 8 to 10 years had it completed, so that we would have had better storage capacity, and it was stopped. Now there are a lot of recommendations which were included in the John Compton Dam report, which was presented by members of WASCO. And there are videos online which shows, had all these recommendations been fulfilled, we would have been in a better situation. So if the desilting of the dam, which is critical, had continued, say for the last 5 years, we would have had more storage capacity. We would have been able to continue with, in terms of looking at the deforestation around the dam, and including measures for that, rainwater harvesting. So there are many recommendations that are out there, but they have not been implemented. The project has just been left to languish. What this government needs to do is to ensure that they prioritize this project and to continue what was started, so that Saint Lucians would get water in their taps, because water is life. Without water, life cannot exist.
Mrs. Johnson, it almost seems that if you're suggesting that the current administration is completely inept and that the UWP has the answers to all the issues that you listed previously. Don't you think that the government is making a genuine attempt to rectify that situation?
Okay, so what you're saying is not accurate, because I would have stated, okay, this project was started long before UWP's administration, from 2016 to 2021. It was conceptualized by the then Labour Party government, but UWP saw it was a good project, they continued it. But in the last 5 years, you are in the media, was anything done to the John Compton Dam in the last 5 years? No, nothing was done. Not even one spoonful of silt was removed from the dam in the last 5 years. And the current administration was the administration in office for the last 5 years. Nothing was done to a critical resource such as our water infrastructure. Was anything done? You live in this country. Was anything done? That's the question to ask. So it's not about blaming.
Presently, don't you think that the government is making a greater effort to rectify this issue?
This government was there for the last 5 years. They continue to be in office. There's a lot of talk about acquiring loans for the dam, which I explained. They want to start putting in the raw water pipelines. This could have been started 5 years ago, and we would not have been in this situation. It's a little too late. Yes, they are doing something, but it's a little too late, because water should be a priority. If we had invested our CIP funds properly, something could have happened. If the desilting of the dam had continued, our storage capacity would have been increased, and St. Lucians in the north would be in a much better situation. When a government stops vital projects, we the people suffer. So the government needs to understand that water is life, a basic necessity, and that should have been prioritized. This is all I'm saying.